My name is Calcin. I'm the owner of the small business for the additive manufacturing, and we actually do is just basically 3D printing manufacturing and products too as well. And also we do education too as well, which we teach you how to use these softwares on each computer aided drafting and how to use the equipment and machinery that is being selected that we chose here at Calsmarter Company at Church Rock. So we're gonna show you guys how to actually use the CAD software and how to actually use these ones. And also welcome for other viewers too as well that are new. Doors is just an open source, so it won't be um, it's not going to be restricted for limited access. So it's just basically a first training on individuals that want to learn about the computer drafting right now. So we do basics from the kindergarten up to the higher level, which is either to university or to a little more toward work area. Right now, we're doing this for individuals that is being selected, and to actually they selected us to actually teach the individuals as well. So right now, we're going to show you guys how to actually use the software. So if you look at the videos from the previous weekends about how you install the software, what's your limitation on your software, which I'll show you down later on in the future. And after that, the next one is the how to use the entire tool. So hopefully, we'll do another video about how you actually use these features right now. But right now, we'll get straight to the point on the menus and not to keep going on with the build up the parts right here and there. So our first one right now we're gonna do is just basically a simple part that we're gonna do right now that is under our own book. So right now I'm just following the book right now to actually like bring it down a little bit here and there to actually show you guys how it actually works on our side. So let's begin. So our first one is gonna be our units. So our units to change will be down here, which is at the bottom right corner, which is our units to actually change it from millimeters, inches, centimeters, and meters. Right now, since we're in the United States, we'll be using inches for now on this book right here, and that we'll be using the inches for every once in a while before we continue on with the millimeters. Now, with the part itself, let's go under to the sketch. Get the page going right here. There we go. So our first one to actually go for is our first beginning as a sketch. We go to sketch right here, this little icon. It'll pop up as sketch. Click that. It'll begin to activate it. Once I activate it, it'll bring up these planes. These planes are the origin where your part's going to position itself. Right now, I'll fix this the orbit right here. This is the one that's supposed to be like going the opposite direction, which is the X and Y. X and Y is the ones that's flatward. Z is the buildup of the height. So X is the left or right, or our width, and our Y is front and back, which is our length. Z is the up and down, which is our height. So we'll be beginning these build these part every once. But the ones that's doing here, which is the Y and X, it'll have the Y positive, negative line, which means going front and back. Then with the X positive and X negative, it'll be left and right. So it doesn't matter which way it goes to, but again, it will affect it later on in the future. But right now, since you guys are learning about the build up to the software and how you actually understand it to simulate it, we'll go from there. Just we're not worried about those until later on in the future. Okay, now once we select these right here, we're gonna go to the front plane. Actually, let's see if it's Z. Either way works. I'll rather choose the right plane because that will give me the idea. Okay, next one is our first one is gonna be the line itself. So our line is gonna be right here, this guy. And it'll activate, it says the line. This is just basically a straight line forward, that's it. And you can actually use this as a free hand to actually move the lines itself. So, but I'll show you how to actually do these ones a little bit later on. So we got this line activated. Then what we're gonna do is go to the bottom right here of this origin. We select this origin, you'll see the orange dot activated. You'll see it popped up. You notice this. And then once you see that one, click it once, that's it, and it'll begin to activate it. Then you just drag your mouse to your left or right. Right now I'm gonna go to my right or left, sorry, to the left. And we're just gonna trace along the lines. There's no dimensions yet. I know I got the dimensions in my book, but we're still gonna do the dimensions. Then zoom out, bring it up. Then I still bring these guys up right here. And that's it. And we're just connecting the dots, that's it. There's no measurements, we're just making the shape of it, that's it. That's our first one that we saw on our notebook. Okay, once you're done with it, either two options. You either right click it, and you'll say cancel. It should say cancel, but it's okay. Or I'm gonna press check over here. Right now it's been activated, so there we go. I double click it with my left mouse, so that way it'll cancel it out. Then press check. Now, Nothing later on, we'll show you guys how to actually do the other tools and or other keys shortcuts. So that's until later on in the future. So next one we're gonna do is our smart dimension right here, and our first one is gonna be down here. So this is gonna be about 2 inches. So I'm gonna type in 2 inches, and we notice that everything else is a little bit bigger. But once we select 2 inches, press Enter on your keyboard, it will begin to actually activate the or actually bring down the entire dimensions smaller. And this right here is going to be 1.75 inches or 1 3/4. Then we got this right here. We want to do this right here, but we got one that's on top, so we're going to follow that blueprint. That's going to be 1.71 3/4. Thickness of it is going to be about 1/4 inch, so about 0.25. Enter. Same thing down below here. Or, actually, yeah, same thing down below here. Same thing. And the inside too as well is going to be 0.25 as well. Now, how to do that is actually select these 2 lines. You gotta select this line right here, which it'll turn orange. And you select the other orange, or select the other line that will turn orange. And that will give us the inside of this one. So I'll explain that after this one, 0.25 inches. Now, so on our dimensions, you can select one of the lines individually, that's it, to get this measurements. That's it, just click it once, that's it, and it'll just bring over here. You don't have to like bring it out here, no, you don't do that. I know that I have some students that actually do that one too, so it's a little bit confusing for them to actually understand that. But it's just for you to actually like indicate where's that at a small scale without making like going over here or going over here if your screen is a little bit too big. You need a control to actually make things easier to actually shrink it down to this limitation area. And it's for you to actually see your work rather than just have a messy workstation. So you just keep everything else tidy as close as possible, but easy for you to read your blueprints as well. Okay, there you go. Once we got that one, press check. Now we got this ready to go. We're gonna exit this guy right here. Always click this guy whenever you're finished your drawings. I know some people actually skip over here, go to features. No, don't do that because it will not make you do the commands right away. So always exit on this exit sketch, because that way it'll deactivate it. Then you can move on to features, which is this next tab right here. Then we select extrude it. This will begin to actually build up your 3D model. So right now we're under blind, means that it'll choose our dimensions. You have to click this guy right here. That's just indicating you just drag over here. But you just click over here once, type it. To actually do the whole thing, just double click it. It'll turn blue. And then we're going to choose is enter 1 inch. Enter. Check it. There you go. So now we got our part that is a almost closely to a Z parallel one. Okay. The next one we want to do is our fillet. So there's 2 options right here on this fillet. So there's one's gonna be on their sketch. You can do it over here. Or the easiest way you can do it is with fillet as well. So there's 2 options because it varies differently. If you want to put your fillet in the blueprints, which is the sketch, you can actually do that because you put it inside the sketch inside there. You don't have to bother that one. Or you put on the features, meaning that you can actually put it out here that's accessible and easy access, but it'll do it on a 3D-dimensional area. So we'll do that later on in the future of how we can discuss that one. Okay, next one, our indication will be is this guy right here. We're gonna select this little line right here. Do not select the face. You notice that it turned orange on the face. I'm gonna move out of the way. You notice that the coloration, it'll select the whole entire face. If I accidentally click face, this will indicate me that your item will be selected will be on face. So I'm gonna clear this one or delete this. This one you just right click it and it's just to say have those options right away. But I want this to be right here on this line. Right here too as well. Then with your mouse, I can use a little middle scroll, click it or push it down. You'll hear it click and you just drag it around too as well. Click the same spot too as well with the lines and it'll begin to do fillets. And you notice that this right here, 1 to 4, indicates to me that these are the lines that you select right here. If it's not the lines that you selected, or if you actually click it right here by accident, go over here, you can right click it, and you can actually delete it, or you can clear the whole entire selection to restore over again. Delete it, but never close it because you'll have to restore over and it's gonna take a while. It's gonna waste time on our side. Okay. While these ones are still active, we're going to change our measurement to about 0.5 inches. There we go. So that way you have a good fillet that's rounded, rather than just go into the sketch and do the opposite direction, which we'll show that later on in the future. Let's check. There we go. Now, next one we're going to do is add in our hole. So our hole is going to be on the top view. So we go back over here again on the sketch, click sketch, then we're going to click sketch again. And we're going to select the face that we want. So instead of just doing the planes that we saw before, like the top, bottom, right, top, left, right, actually, yeah, and then the height, you can go over here, you select the planes. You notice that these ones has a shaded square. Those are the planes too as well. You can actually put the items or the sketches on top of the surface of these face areas. So I'm going to select this face right here. It'll activate it. And this one I'm going to add in our circle right here. So I'm going to add a circle right here. Press check. Now, you notice that this is not perfectly in the center of it. There's a shortcut on your keyboard. All you can do is hold down your shift button, hold it down. Don't click. If you click it, it's not going to do nothing else. I want you to hold it down and then select the circle and the big circle. Oops. If I messed up again, don't worry. Go over here, right click it, delete it. I'm going to hold down my shift button again. Click it. There you go. So now it's edge one. You let go of your shift and it should be ready to go for a quick sketch. For some reason it's not letting me do that. Let me try again. So click this one, shift this one, and it should give you this right here, this right here. So we have these relations. It means that it'll give us a shortcut faster to the way it'll give us from there. So let's go, for example, tangent. It means that it'll touch onto the surface right here, or the surface of this guy on the line, because that way the circle will be on top of the line itself that you sketch, and it'll be on top of it. Concentric means that it's going to be in the middle of the circle or inside the circle itself. So it'll be perfectly centered of the circle itself. Equal means that if you have this dimension out, and if this one's off on this measurement, it's a bit too big, but I want to make it the exact same size as this, you can select those two and you can actually press equal and it'll give us the exact measurement. So now we're going to select to tangent, and it should give us the diameter. Oh, okay, we're actually tangent. No, sorry. Delete that. Let me undo it again because I messed up. Undo means that you can go on top, click this undo, and it'll undo everything else. Let me try again. Click the circle, click the other circle, and it's supposed to be the concentric. I did not mean circle. Something's going on here. Let me undo it again. Okay, so there's a relation right here. It says tangent. I'm going to delete all of it. And I'm going to choose concentric. There we go. So now it's perfectly in the center of it. We're good. Dimension. I'm going to add in our dimensions. It's going to be about 0.5 or a half inch. There we go. Check it. Then we're going to exit. And we're going to do this. And then we'll go back to these features. Now, it used to be extrude base and boss. What we're going to do is extrude cut. So there's two features right here. One, it builds up the model. So you have to build up the 3D model. This one's the revolve, which we'll show that later on. Sweep and boss 2 and loft. Extruded cut. These ones are cutting where you want to curve, or you want to cut out the excess material or excess part of your the feature itself, the 3D model. So I'm gonna go to extrude cut, and I'm gonna go blind to through all, and through all means that it's gonna cut all the way through the hole. There we go. Then we're gonna do the same thing on top view of the sketch, and we're gonna do the same thing again over here. Circle, hold down our shift button right here, and arc right there, and it's gonna be concentric. Check it, and that one is going to be the same thing again. So it's gonna be about actually, we are going to do is, let's see. Okay, Give me a second. So I think this one we're gonna show you guys another whole wizard. So sorry about that. So let me go to the point. Then I'm going to make it concentric in the middle. So this one right here, you can just choose the option of like using a secondary hand. And the secondary hand is actually these little lines that you saw right here. So if you're trying to make it center right here, this will automatically select you saying that, okay, I want, if you're going for the middle of the center of the items or the selected point that you want me to go position it, it'll give you a secondary hand and it'll help you out right here. So this is our centric. It'll get used to it without clicking the mouse. There's no click. All I do is just hover on top of it, let it sink in for a few seconds, and then drag it out. And it should give you the center of the circle. Then I click. There you go. Check it. Exit. The next one we'll go to is features, and I'm going to choose our whole wizard. So the whole wizard is a GD&T, I'll say general dimension and tolerance that helps you out with the specs of the circle. And let's see. For example, if you've seen your parts that has a curve on it or a chamfer, and with the bolt is already perfectly flat, that's the indication that it's already been done for you with the specification before when you're doing computer drafting. So there's different type of holes out there. There's chamfer, slot. Then there's one that's the die. There is such thing as die because you notice there's some hex bolts that has you can actually fit on top of it that has that hex design. That one would be chamfer. That one's a different design. So we got that ready to go. We're going to, since we actually finished our sketch on the first point, to actually point on top of it, which is good. None of them was positioned, but we'll show you guys that one later on in the future. I'm going to select this hole right here, this first one. Then we are going to do is choose the size. Let's see here, whole time. Actually, we'll choose this guy right here. It gives us the exact dimension. Let's see here. It should have been the counter bore, but it's not letting me give me the diameter of it. Okay, let's go to the first one then right here. This should give us the measurements. So this right here is going to be 0.5 on top. That'll be an inch. Not through all, it's going to be blind. There we go. And then let's see. Where is the head size? Fit loose? No. There we go. Custom sizing. There we go. So this right here is supposed to be about 0.25. 0.5. The next one is a little countersink right here. That's going to be 0.125. And degrees, we don't have to worry about degrees. I think that one's about 180. Yeah, 118. Okay. And that's it. Let's go choose this guy to blind to throw all. There you go. And press check. And now you'll have a hole that's already been countersink at the bottom of it. So nope. I think that's it. Then I will post up more of these dimensions online on YouTube. Because these ones are just basically straightforward of how you actually use these features. So there won't be no commentary because I'll just zoom right through right away. Because these are just simple, basic ones. It's just that on your side, you have to like look on my screen and then you'll follow the mouse of how I do on my side. So hopefully that makes sense. I had to head out right away to actually to teach another classroom. But right now, this is just videos right now for the individuals out there. So just keep practicing on my side. Just look at the sample videos on the YouTube channel. But I will post more under a folder called 2024 SolidWorks for fall. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a like, thumbs up, and go from there. All right then, have a good day.